Oxygen is the most important water quality factor for proper fish health, but it is poorly soluble in water. A low concentration of dissolved oxygen that exists in the water results in environmental hypoxia. Oxygen can enter water from photosynthesis or by diffusion of atmospheric oxygen. A certain amount of algae in a pond is desirable since it increases oxygen production, thus allows a greater number of fish to be stocked. High fish stocking densities result in large algae populations because of the plant nutrients that are released from fish discharge. Absolute temperature ranges from fish species do not exist because temperature tolerance depends on several factors, including the temperature to which the individual has been acclimated, salinity, life stage, and reproductive status. The speed of temperature change is so important. Thus, it is difficult to generalize about temperature tolerance because it is influenced by so many factors. However, it is important to be aware of the general temperature ranges for the species being examined and the conditions that may influence. Temperature stratification refers to the development of two distinct temperature zones in the water. It occurs when the surface water warms up while the bottom water remains cooler. Stratification is most likely to develop during hot, calm summer days when little water mixing occurs by wind action. As the temperature difference between the surface water and bottom water increases, the pond stratifies into two layers of water that are separated by metalimnion or thermocline. This is where water temperature changes rapidly from the warm surface's temperature to the cool bottom temperature. Warm water is lighter and thus the thermocline acts as a physical barrier between the epilimnion and hypolimnion, and a considerable amount of energy is required to mix the water. Ammonia poisoning is one of the most common water quality problems diagnosed in aquaculture. Ammonia is the primary nitrogenous waste product of fish. It comes from the decay of complex nitrogenous compounds. It can cause acute mortality, but most often it presents as a sublethal stress. Ammonia levels are easily determined using commercially available kits. These kits measure the nitrogen present as ammonia, also known as total ammonia nitrogen, or TAND. An ion-specific electrode can also be used to measure ammonia. Ammonia poisoning can be treated by stopping or reducing feeding, decreasing density, adding water, or increasing water flow. Most circumstances causing ammonia poisoning can also lead to nitrite poisoning. Nitrite buildup usually occurs after ammonia has peaked. This is because the Nitrobacter bacteria that converts nitrite to nitrate require time to become active, just like the bacteria that convert ammonia to nitrite. Nitrite nitrifiers are also inhibited by ammonia. Some chemicals selectively inhibit Nitrobacter, causing a nitrate spike. Most groundwater has dissolved carbonates and carbon dioxide and a pH somewhere between 5 to 8. Groundwater in contact with silicate minerals is poorly buffered and typically has a low pH and a large amount of carbon dioxide. Acid sulfate soils may have a pH less than 4 because of the oxidation of sulfide to sulfuric acid, making them unsuitable for fish culture unless neutralized. Alkaline pH stress is much less common than acid stress. Most closed culture systems tend to decrease in pH over time, and acids are much more common environmental contaminants than alkaline. Acutely high pH may be caused by high levels of alkalis leaching out of inadequately cured concrete. Concrete containers should be allowed to leach all alkali before using for fish culture. Many fish do poorly die in even moderately alkaline water and should be kept in soft, moderately acid conditions. Alkaline pH can also increase the mortality of incubating eggs of some species because acid waters are somewhat bacteriostatic. Salinity is the amount of all ions in water and is most commonly expressed as parts of ions per thousand parts water. Fresh water has less than 0.5 salinity. Between these two extremes are various concentrations of brackish water, including oligoline, mesaline, and polyline. As with other water qualities, salinity tolerance of fish varies. Salt is also a useful prophylactic and can be added to fresh water to reduce prevalence of many infectious diseases. Many of these diseases are inhibited by even low salt concentrations.